Yo, welcome to the New Normal Podcast, where we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. Today, we got an interesting conversation. We talking about other folks' kids. The reason we talking about this conversation today because it's been very, very popular, especially with the viral video that went down with last week or the week before last about the guy bringing about the guy bringing McDonald's to one of his kids. Oh shit, let me turn this shit down. Hold on. Cause cause there's been a popular topic as of lately. Right now I'm watching I guess they opening a strip club in Brighton. So I was watching the video for this shit right now. And I'm trying to see if I'm gonna go in there home. I'm texting somebody back because they told me if I go there, I need to let them know if I'm going. If y'all hear that baby whining in the background, that's my son. That nigga, he want to be picked up. Hold on, yeah, I'm tripping. I'm being occupied right now. Hold on. So yeah, like I was saying, we talking about other folks' kids. The reason we talking about other folks' kids because today, well, actually, it wasn't today. It was a yesterday that I posted on my Facebook page. It said, I'm gonna read it for y'all. It says, I'm taking my boyfriend and our kids on a family vacation. He feels like I'm wrong for not including his kid. I told him he or his baby mother can pay for their kid if they want to. I guess him to go is cut off. I feel like that's not my kid, so that's not my responsibility. Am I wrong? So the question is right now is this woman wrong for not including his kids? And I see a lot of people on my post. I'm gonna read what people were saying on my post. Some people were saying we have some people that say, in my opinion, she wrong. She dating that man, meaning she see potential in being married to that man. I could understand if they're not together, but damn, even if she's not paying, what the hell? He not broke. He's not paying for his own child. He broke. Somebody said her and the McDonald's dude have the same rights. As far as I'm concerned. Hold on. Somebody calling in.
To accept, press 1.
Hello.
Hey,
What's up?
hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, hold on. Let me turn you down. Let me turn you down a little bit. Hold on.
Okay, okay.
But I was reading the post earlier that you had commented on too, but I'm gonna read it again so the people can hear what we talking
Okay.
about. Hold on. Let me find the post. My phone freezing up. So fuck, I might have to do it this way. I don't know why my phone mess up all of a sudden when I'm trying to use it. So it say, I'm taking my boyfriend and our kids on a family vacation. He feels like I'm wrong for not including his kid. I told him he or his baby mother can pay for their kid if they want him to go. I feel like I'm not, I feel like that's not my kid, so that's not my responsibility. Am I wrong? How do you feel about that?
No, she's not wrong because I'm in a similar situation. I am married. I don't do for my husband's daughter, and she is 9 because I have 3 other kids. I have a grown son who's 18. I have a 12-year-old, and I have a toddler. And I'm not going. If I have to do it for my own kids, which two of them have no daddy in their life, true enough. But I still do for my kids. I don't ask them to do anything for them. I don't ask them to buy them anything. So what her situation is, everybody's situation is different. I'm on a budget. I don't know her situation. Maybe she is too. I don't blame her. If I go on vacation, I feel the same way. I would tell my husband, hey, you either buy for your daughter, pay for her food, pay for her attractions, the hotel and the gas. I got you. But the rest is not going to happen. Oh, and my husband knows this. I don't buy for his daughter. We've been married 3 years. I don't do for his daughter. Now, as far as like if I go out to eat somewhere and I bring my middle child something to eat, of course I'm going to bring her something to eat. I would never do that. But as far as like buying her stuff or doing for her, no, I do not. And I never have. I get negative comments. I have
I got a
people have
question.
bashed
I
me
got
really bad about
I
this.
got a question. So is there bad blood? The reason you don't do something like when y'all was dating and stuff
No,
like.
it's no bad. It's no bad blood because, like I said, I have my own kids to take care of. Um, she has a mama and she has a daddy. So, everybody don't know my situation because, like I said, I'm on a budget. I work every day. I'm a nurse. I work full time, and I have a son. I have to look after him and stuff that he needs. And I have a middle child and I have a toddler. Now, my toddler belongs to me and my husband together.
Okay.
And like I said, I don't do for his daughter. We've been together almost 3 years. November. I never had done for his daughter. And he knows that. Yes. Is it negativity? Yes. Is it ugly? Comments from each other? Yes. As far as her mother, I don't contact her. I don't talk to her. I met her one time in 3 years.
So do y'all?
I
So
don't,
does his so
socialize.
does his daughter stay with y'all, or does she stay with her mom, her parent, her mom
No,
and
she
daddy?
does not. No, she stays in Birmingham with her mother. She comes to our house maybe every other weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
she don't live with us.
go ahead.
Now, if she lived with us and she had no choice, that may be a little bit different. But I'm not obligated to take care of her though. Like he's not obligated to take care of my kids. And long as we've been together, he has not done nothing for my kids. And I
So
know my son's 18 and he's grown now. But when he was 16, when I met him, he did it for my son or my middle child. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not obligated to do for his child. That's the way I feel about it. I don't. My daughter's birthday coming up, and I told him this recently. I said, if you want her to go with my daughters, do her, whatever she got planned or wherever she wants to go, you got to pay for your daughter. And I told him that you got to pay for your daughters of eating when we go out to eat. You got to pay for her. Uh, we go to a splash adventure wherever my daughter wants to go. You got to pay for your daughter.
so my question is, when y'all was dating, you and your husband, when y'all was dating, was y'all dating? Did you ever have the mindset that he was gonna have to take some type of financial responsibility for your kids if they was in the house with y'all?
I never thought like that. It's our first marriage together. So I never thought about him taking care of my son at 16 or my daughter at 9 when I met him. I never, if he wanted to do something for them, yes, I would take it. It's not his choice. Like it's not my choice to take care of his daughter. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? If I want to do it on my own, let me do it. You know what I'm saying? But if we wasn't going on vacation, I feel the lady, and I agree with her 100%. Whether who don't like it or who wants to come on here and say something negative, I mean, I don't bother me. So, like I said, at the end of the day, this is my opinion. I'm not going to take care of my husband's daughter. Now, if she wants to come live with us and her mama passes away or DHR takes her, I may do a little bit of helping out. But my husband is a man and he's gonna have to, take care of his own daughter. She got a mama and she got a daddy. My two other kids don't have a daddy. They got just I'm the mama, I'm the daddy, I'm the grandma, I'm the cousin, the aunt, whatever you want to call it. So I
Yeah.
take care of my other two by myself. I've always been independent. Like I said, the lady situation with the vacation thing, we don't know her situation. We know whatever she put on social media. And we don't know, she may be on a budget too. I know I am. So, like I said, I'm not obligated to take care of nobody else's child. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't let her go hungry. I would eat in front of her. That's one that I would not do as far as like financially buying her school clothes or Our birthday? Oh no, that's not gonna happen. No,
So I got
you know.
my question is, did you see the video, the viral video that was, I think it was last week, when the guy brought his son some McDonald's and then bring the other
Yes.
girl?
Oh
Was
yeah.
he wrong?
Oh no, he was not wrong. I mean, like I said, I just seen the video of actually her, but I did comment on the video that was made. And no, he's not wrong. They are not his kids. Like I said, I'm not obligated to do for my husband's daughter, and I'm never gonna do for her. And you know, it is what it is. And for them, you know what I'm saying? If she would have called him and said, "Hey, I know you bringing whatever his name is something to eat. Do you mind if you get the other kids something? I'm on a budget. My stamps is whatever the case may be with her stamps run out early. Hey, can you please? You know, if you can't do it, I understand. I will make a means and a way to feed my other kids. That simple. I've never been that kind of baby mama. I'm 43 years old. Never been that kind of baby mama. I don't expect you to bring my other two kids food. You know what I'm saying? If I ask you nicely, hey, can you help me out for the day? Then that's different. But that situation with that right there, that's a clown right there, honey. I don't know what kind of person that is. I mean, you got your nails done, your hair, or whatever the case may be. Then obviously you spent your stamps on your nails and your hair. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
That's a
And that
that's a
man was,
that's
and then she threw the food. Then you threw the food.
a
She threw the food. I mean, that was like, I mean, he was just looking like he didn't know what to say. You threw the food. She made herself look dumb. You know what I'm saying? But you put it on live. I don't care what if they broke up 2 months ago. If they broke up last year. They are not his kids. They're not. He's not in their life. He brought his son food,
See,
and that's the craziest stuff.
people don't want to talk about like this aspect of it. So let's say she said she had three other kids, right? So that's four kids in total. Ain't no telling, but I'm guessing it's multiple baby daddies, right? So
Right, right,
let's say the kids sitting around talking about each other, fathers, right? And let's say that kid comes to that dad and was like, the other kids talk about their daddy, and so that daddy was like, well, I'm gonna make sure I'm in your life because I don't want you to feel like I'm neglecting you, like the other kids talk about their daddy. So maybe he felt like him bringing his son some food was letting his son know, like, hey, I'm here for you, and I'm gonna do for my son and my son only. Don't matter what the other kids are going through in that house, because obviously the other fathers wasn't bringing their kids something to eat, but she want to lean on
right,
that dude because he obviously seemed like, or from looks of the video, he seemed like he's probably the better choice of all of the other baby daddies. And I feel like if she feel like that he need to feed all her kids, she should have had all her kids by that one man that she wanted to make sure all her kids was gonna get fed.
right. I would say out of women who have multiple, I have three baby daddies,
Uh-huh.
and my husband is the only one that's a good baby daddy. The other two are nothing. Just
Hmm.
like her situation. Out of all her baby daddies, that one baby daddy is the best one, but you cannot expect that one person to take care of the rest of your kids because you got one good baby daddy and three are sorry.
Right.
My husband's a good husband. He's good to his daughters, both of his daughters. So I want to expect him to take care of my other two kids. It's not his fault they sorry they don't want to take care, of their kids. It's not his problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He may feel some type of way about it, but I don't expect my husband to say all they do for your kids because they don't have no father in their life. I don't expect that. That was way for his time. You know what I'm saying? Way before he knew who I was. So that he's not obligated to do for my kids. I don't care who I end up with in the life future. With her situation, she's got one good baby daddy, and she knows it. She couldn't call the other three and ask them anything, so she probably would have got cussed out or dogged out or whatever the case may be. So she depends on that one baby daddy that is good to her son and takes care of her son. Vice versa, the other three she got, and she expected him to do for the rest of them kids. So he's the best baby daddy she ever had.
Yeah.
You
So
can't expect that.
so my thing, have you ever been around women who have said that they was looking for like a good stepfather for their kids or anything like that?
Um, Not really. I mean, because I have friends who are single
Hmm.
and
Like single
they don't.
mothers.
Yeah, single mothers. I have two friends who are single mothers, and they don't go around looking for set day for their kids. You know what I'm saying? They take care of their kids by themselves, like I took care of mine by myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't go around looking for step daddies. You know what I'm saying?
No, no, I'm
I
not.
work
I'm
with a
not
bunch of
saying.
women.
I'm not saying they looking for them, but I'm saying like, let's say a man was to try to date them or be serious with them, would they take in consideration? Hey, this guy might potentially be in the house with me and my child. I need to make sure he's a good role model, maybe, or probably maybe a good replacement father for my kid, just in case that relationship was to what if the kid was to be able to bond with their father, with their child.
Right. I mean, yeah, of course that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, so that's what I was wondering because I hear a lot of women say, and it might be true. A lot of women might not be looking for quote unquote stepfathers, but innately, if you're going to have a person around your child, you kind of want to have a
Yeah.
good male role model, to be there. You get what I'm saying?
Right. You're right. You're right. I agree with that.
And so that's why it's weird to me when a lot of women say they're not looking for that, but you better make sure and be cautious who you have around your kids because now it's a
Oh,
lot of
I agree with that.
it's a lot of crazy stuff going on. People pervert. R. Kelly just got 30 years, so you
Right.
gotta be careful who you have around your kids. You gotta do background
And,
checks and ask people do they know him or her or whoever you have around your kids because people are crazy.
yeah, I tell my kids all the time. If me and my husband ever separated, I don't want. I have two daughters. You know what I'm saying? And I watch the news. I'm on Facebook 24/7. I see where kids get raped and kids get molested and you be like, oh wow, about boyfriends and I mean I watch all that. I mean I even share it with my friends constantly on their page or in the messenger inbox. Like look, this right here is what happened. Like I would be very cautious. Like sometimes you can do a background check and nobody's got a background. You know what I'm saying? It depends on that. But me having two girls myself, because my son, like I said, he just graduated. He's almost 19. But that would really is scary. You know what I'm saying? Because you do
Yeah.
have to watch out who's around your kids. I mean, little boys too. Don't get me wrong, but mainly girls. You know,
I think it's both.
and
It's both of them. It's both of them, and people say that, and that's why I think a lot of boys, because I know a lot of guys who have been touched. Because
right,
one of the
right,
things when it comes to boys, if a boy is touched by a male, they'll try to sweep it under the rug because they don't want that stigma that he might potentially be gay. So they'll
right.
shove that under the rug, and if it's a family member who's been doing it or if it's a woman that does it, else it's men, and men do this too. If it's an older woman, we always try to give the young boy, oh man, you got props because you slept with an older woman, when in fact he was
Yeah,
victimized, or this woman is a predator. And men, we do this as well. We do it as well, and we perpetuate a lot of stuff that goes on. If a young boy's, like the young boy sleeping with the teacher, you get high fives
yeah,
and oh, that's cool, but it's never, hey, bro, how do you feel? Is your mind fucked up? Because you might not have
right.
been thinking about sex like that, but this older woman, people say taking advantage of, she really could have taken advantage of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
And so
Like I
you
said,
you
I mean,
you had to be careful. You really just had to be careful with all people, boys or girls, and who you bring around, and just like I said, vet them
I
and
agree.
make sure everything is good with them.
I mean, I agree with that 100%. Like I try to tell my friend, they're single mothers. I'm like, hey, you got girls, I got girls. It doesn't matter. You need to be careful because you think they look like they won't touch nobody or sexually molest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I said, my daughter gonna be 12. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't bring anybody around her. I don't even allow her to go anywhere. To be honest with you, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And my infant, if she ain't at daycare, she with me or my husband. Other than that, she's around nobody. Daycare, me and my husband, as
yeah.
far as she goes.
So you said
So
this
like I said,
your first marriage,
yes,
and how are you 43?
yes.
Why you wait so long to get married?
I've been engaged twice, but you know how some of these men, a little, we be with them for a long time. The true colors come out.
I
Now, I
had
don't,
it.
I don't
So
talk to everybody. I don't talk to.
hold
Go
on, hold on.
ahead.
I ain't gonna let you get that off. I ain't gonna let you get it off. So you was with me in a long time, and then when y'all got engaged is when they start acting crazy.
Yeah, I mean for real, like, the cheating and I don't want nobody who's been in prison. I don't want nobody who does drugs. And you want to smoke a cigarette, drink a little beer, blue moon, that's fine. But honey, you cannot be doing no drugs.
But
You cannot be in
so hold on.
prison.
So you found out these people was in prison and on drugs after y'all got engaged.
But no, I found out my two exes that I was engaged to, they were doing drugs,
Uh-huh.
like hardcore drugs.
Like what kind of
And I
drugs?
mean, like cocaine and crack.
Yeah.
And my thing is, I, I've never been around that, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when it started looking crazy, I was finding stuff around the house. And I'm like, are you serious right now? And I was asking my friends, like, what's serious? What it could be? Because I'm not used to being around that. I
So
just come from
so
a family who does drugs.
so how you find out, like what was like the straw that broke the camel back? Like
Well,
how you came home one day, it was high.
I and I would see like cut up straws behind the couch,
Uh-huh.
in the cabinet, and I'm like, cut up straws. And my ex would like, this would be my middle child's daddy. He would like look, his face would look weird. He would be like blocking the door where I couldn't get out the door, and I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And he's like, somebody's in the house, and I think somebody's in here running around. I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like, is something you took, or are you sick or something? Because I know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's when I started asking around, like, girl, he's a drug head. I'm like, wait, 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 wait. Now, all this time, I didn't know that. I said, was I clueless or was I dumb or
So
did I
how
just see the signs?
so how long was y'all in a relationship before you found out that they were on drugs? Well, that you both of them was
We
on drugs?
relationship, yes, we was in a relationship from '08 until 2010. I mean, it was just weird how I didn't know it. I think he hid it a lot. He did come around me a lot. I mean, we come home, he would come home late. I was 31, you know what I'm saying? I was just quite young and dumb at the time. And I didn't know what was going on. So I started finding stuff and I would ask my friends, look, is he acting crazy? I mean, what should I do? It's making me scared and nervous. I'm not used to this. I would ask my neighbors and they're like, girl, he's high or something. I'm like, are you serious? And so I was like, no, it can't be. I've never really known him do drugs. And they're like, girl, that's a sign. So I'm like, well, man, he sure kept me for a long time. But when I found out, I let him go about his business. My daughter was young. I think she was like 3. I let him go on. But my son's father was abusive.
Okay.
And I got that relationship. Yeah, my son's father was abusive and cheated all the time. And so I got out of that relationship with him 2000 and 2006. And we were together from 2002. And we're separated at my son was a young age too, because he was abusive and really bad um and so on.
So
So
so how long you stay in their abusive relationship?
probably about 2 years.
Hmm.
About 2 years. Mm-hmm.
So how long after
But
you got into
the first year was good. I swear to you, the first year it was nothing like that. The second year is when abuse started happening,
uh-huh.
and that's the first time I've been in an abusive relationship with anybody. So I let that go.
Dang. So what you think you learned from both of them relationships to want to get married? Like you've been through somebody that was abusive, you went through
Yeah.
somebody that was on drugs, and now you're
Right.
married at 40. You
Yes.
got married at 40, basically. And so
Right.
what made you want to still get married after you going through those, wild
I mean,
relationships?
oh, yeah, everybody like you ask it all the time. My friends like, why you got married? I'm like, well, I mean, Lord, I mean, it's hard to explain. Like when you go through that and you engage and you have a man cheating on you constantly and trying to put their hands on you, and one of them does drugs, and you're scared for your life. You don't want to, get hurt or your child to get hurt. I mean, 31, 24, I had my son. 31, I had my daughter, and then at 40, I had my other baby. So, I mean, at 41, I had my other baby. So, I don't know. I mean, I met my husband 2019. We got married kind of fast, but I just knew he wasn't like that. He's from Birmingham, but he's nothing like that. He's different. He don't have no record. He don't do no drugs. Never been in trouble. So I was like, God, finally, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, he's younger than me by a few years. So
What's a few
just,
years?
he'll be 37 next week,
So he's, yeah, you
and I'm
6 years older
43.
than him.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about dating a younger man?
Um. Well, I'm used to dating younger guys, but I mean, it's okay. I mean, he's not immature, not like that. But if I had to do it all over again, it'll be somebody older. If I did, I'm not gonna lie. If I had to do it all over again, which I won't. I hope I never have to.
Why why
I
would
would.
it be somebody older?
I don't know because I mean, like I said, I've been out of the dating game for 3 years, and when I was dating before I met him, I mean, you had some older guys. I had some young, like 20 something years old, and some 31-year-old guys. I mean, I don't know. It'd be somebody older because it's just hard to explain. You know what I'm saying? Like I like him. He's young. I mean, 6 years is not bad. I know people who are dating 6-year-old men to 40 that I work with right now. But I mean, I would probably I don't know, just switch it up. I would probably be with somebody older.
I'm saying, you think it'd be a benefit to date somebody older?
I don't know. I mean, it's a hard question to answer. I don't know if it'd be a benefit to me because when you got older men who cheat, you got older men who don't even have. I mean, nothing going on for themselves. Don't even have a steady job. I mean, it's vice versa. I mean, I don't know. I probably maybe I would never date again at all. I don't know what I would do if we ever separated.
Yeah, because I'm just wondering. You said if you had a choice, you would probably date somebody older.
I
I'm
probably
just
older. So I mean, probably somebody more my age. It wouldn't be nobody younger because these young dudes. I mean, can you imagine a young dude want to talk to somebody my age with a toddler,
uh-huh.
a whole toddler? I doubt it.
Yeah, okay. So I was just wondering because you said that you said you was going you said it was somebody to be older. I'm trying to figure out what would be the benefit and what issues you have dating somebody
I don't
younger.
know what would be the benefit unless I mean I don't know what would be the benefit. It would be a good benefit if I did, but it wouldn't be nobody younger, not at my age. I mean, I never thought I'd marry somebody at his age. You know what I'm saying? But he is mature for his age. You know what I'm saying? He got his head on his shoulder. He ain't never been in trouble. He's a CDL driver.
Yeah.
Never had no record or anything. So never abused a woman. And no matter how heated our arguments get, and they get heated, trust me, because I have a mouth and I don't back down. I'm gonna keep talking until I get the last say so. And so no matter how arguing we that he never has put his hands on me.
Wow.
I will give him that.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, look, I got somebody else trying to call in. I'm gonna call you RG. Like I said, if you see me live or whatnot, just make sure you call in if you want to talk
Okay.
about something.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Thanks, bye.
So that was RG. She hit me up earlier, said she wanted to talk about other folks' kids and how she don't feel like nobody's wrong for not taking care of other people's kids or want to take them on trips or feeding them when it comes to like the McDonald's issue. I don't feel like people are wrong if they don't, take care of other people's kids or whatnot, buy them stuff. But I don't believe in mistreating children either. I think the internet is a great place because now we honestly get to see how people feel about other people's children. And the good thing about it is you understand why people are fighting for Roe v. Wade to be not overturned. Because if you are a parent, if you're someone who's raised children, you understand this is very difficult. And we have the internet at our fingertips. You can see the issues that people deal with on a daily basis. So you understand having a kid isn't a joke. As an adult who is single without kids, sometimes it's difficult raising yourself, taking care of yourself, making sure you're doing what you're supposed to do as an adult for yourself. Still trying to figure out and navigate, career, society, your love life, shit. Sometimes what you gonna eat, still learning how to cook. Some of these motherfuckers still ain't don't know how to wipe their ass good. So it's like I say, it's just a weird thing and a thing that's going on. Look like Bobby Shmurda got a damn new video. I ain't gonna play it because I ain't trying to get copyrighted, but I want to hear it. So I'm looking at this commercial again for this strip club. They could have definitely found a better stripper to put on the commercial. But like I said, if you're watching, call in. Let me go right here real quick while I wait on people to call in.
Call from Mercedes.
Hello.
Hey,
What's up? You hear me?
yeah.
Oh, okay, good, good. So we was talking earlier about the girl and I want to take that baby on a trip. How do you feel about that?
I feel like she wasn't obligated to.
She
Definitely, like for a number of reasons. For one, it's not her kid, and she's just a girlfriend. She's not a wife. She's not a fiance. And I mean, two, everybody don't want to deal with other people's kids.
Okay, so let's start with that. So when you dating somebody, since she's not a wife, right? But she was a girlfriend. She had her boyfriend and our kids. I want to take my boyfriend and our kids on the trip. Do you not have to date someone and see how they are around your children though? If you're gonna be in that person's
It
life?
depends. It depends on the terms of the relationship. And I mean, obviously, I feel like it wasn't that serious for her. If she like, gotta pay for our kid. Maybe she don't see him as like this whole man of her future. She's just having fun. But I mean, if that's your intent, then yeah.
So what's the proper time to introduce somebody to your children? Let's start there.
Honestly, with that, I feel like it depends on the person. It depends on every situation is different, every relationship, every kid is different.
Hmm. So my
So it
thing,
that just depends.
so because like my thing is we was talking about behavior issues. That's one big thing nobody ever talks about. And I've been around a lot of kids because I have kids. And so I see how they interact and act. And so it's certain things that I see in certain little kids that I know that, oh, I'm not bringing my child around this motherfucker here. And I think the same goes if you're like trying to have a blended family. If you have kids and you, as a father, let's say, the situation where it's the husband and wife, they have a blended family. The husband kids doesn't stay at the house, but when they come over, they taint how the house is ran. That's going to make people feel differently about bringing those kids around in that household. Would you say?
Right. Like if I can be honest, that's my exact situation.
Uh huh.
I have children. I got a bunch of kids. I have six children,
You got
but I
six
don't play
kids,
with children. I have six children.
like six kids that came out of you.
So I have six children that came out of me. Yeah.
All of them
So
came.
because
Six
I
of
have
them. Six of them.
six
God
songs
damn.
came out of
Okay.
me.
Well, wait. Hold on. Hold on.
So
Hold on.
because of this,
Hold on. I'm gonna let you answer. What made you
okay.
want to have six kids?
I always wanted a big family.
Okay.
So it wasn't like, my kids were playing. My youngest is he's 7 months old. And, like me and my husband was like, we're going to have a baby. And then we did that. So I don't know. I love kids. Like that was intentional for me.
What's the age ranges of your kids?
13, 12, 10, 9, 8, and then the 7 month old.
So you know how people say, "Oh, I want a big family," but then have kids because pregnancy is rough on women. the birth process,
Yeah.
sleep schedules, feeding, breastfeeding, getting up in the
Right.
middle of the night, changing diapers, bottles, crying, you being tired, sick, the baby being tired and sick, learning, cues. As you could tell, I'm a parent, so
Yep.
I understand all this. That none of that made you want to change your mind on having a big family.
Nah, definitely not. Because when you're doing that for the right reason, it's ours.
What's the right reasons?
Because you want kids. You have people that enter in a relationship and want to tie the dude down with a baby, or tie the dude want to tie the woman down with a baby. Or I actually had a conversation with a kid, and she was like, "Yeah, they had gotten married. She had a kid. He had a couple kids, and she was like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna have a baby so we can have one together." Like literally, her entire purpose in having a baby was only so she can say she got a baby with her husband.
Hmm.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's
But
that's
like if
that's
you
that's for
genuinely want,
destruction.
right, right. But if you genuinely just want a lot of humans, go ahead on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say I want to have
So
a
that's how
big
that.
family. I got two kids now, but I don't know. I got one in me for sure, and then maybe a possible. It just depends. If my wife want a girl, so if we get a girl next, I think I'm done. I really don't want to have a girl, but for her, I'll try one more time. And if we get a girl, then I probably gonna
That's
be done.
See, now that's the thing. My husband and I have 10 kids together. I
Okay.
have six, but he has he got four others than my son. So we're at 10. So yeah.
So hold on, the math thing.
So
You
we
so
got
he got four kids.
yeah. He has four other than my son.
So that would be 11 kids. Because if you got six other than your son, and he got
No,
four.
I have six counting my son,
Oh, okay, okay,
and
okay.
then he has four other than yeah.
Okay, okay, I
So
got
it's
you. I got
10.
you. You're right. You're right. You're right. That's a lot of kids.
Yeah, it is. But you know the ages work,
I mean,
so it is what it is. He has two adult children, so they're like
oh,
20. Yeah,
so
they're
is he? How,
20 and
how old are
20.
you?
A business. I'm 31,
Oh, okay. 31, six
and then
kids.
and then my husband is 41.
Oh, that ain't bad. 10-year gap. That ain't bad at all. I
Yeah,
think women.
exactly.
No,
Yeah.
my one of my granddaddies was 30 years older than my grandma, and then my other granddaddy, he was 15 years older than my grandma.
Mm.
And but me and my wife, I'm a year
Yeah.
older than her, but we got the same birthday.
Oh, that's up. How y'all do that?
Just met her through a friend. We had the same birthday. We vibed and kicked it, and it just happened like that. We got the same birthday.
Nah, I want my birthday to myself.
It worked because I even numbers we make the other one more important than the other one, so it works out.
Yeah, I can
That
see
way,
that.
milestone birthday. So when I'm 40, mine's celebrated, and when she's 40, hers celebrated. You get what I'm saying? So like milestone birthdays,
Yeah.
we still get to celebrate it, but we work it out. It's just it's different. People I would be surprised when you tell them that because I think it's rare that couples have the same birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
would
like the exact same day. Yeah, that's correct.
yeah got the same exact day. So we share a lot of things together, even the birthdays. And we act similar. We act very very similar. It's just she's a woman, so it might vary a little bit. And yeah, but we act a lot. We have a lot of similar views on a lot of stuff, and then like it'll be something very drastic on what we disagree on.
Mm.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's pretty wild. But like you were saying about your issue now with your husband and his kids.
With the kids,
Hmm.
because I have six children, I'm around a lot of kids. My kids in sports. I'm team mom. I got a cheerleader. I got a football player. I got a softball player. I'm the assistant softball coach. Like literally, they sports crazy. So I'm around a lot of kids, and I don't like a certain type of kid.
What kind of kid is
So
that?
First of all, my I have five daughters and then my 7 month
Damn,
oldest
hold on. So
son.
you in the house? It's 6 women in the house and 2 boys, 2 men, and the
Yep,
other the other
yep,
man is a baby.
yep. Is
How
that type of
you do
crazy?
shit? 6 women in the house. All right, go ahead.
I know. But having those girls, those five girls back to back, like my house is run like a charm school. I can't stand alley kids, boy or girl, but specifically young ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't like they ought to run tan up. I got nice stuff. My kids have been raised up in a decent home. Everybody ain't raising their kids the same.
I agree.
And so when dating someone with kids, it can be conflict. We've been married a little over a year now, and my stepson still is afraid of he's more afraid of me than he is his dad. And I ain't never did that to him. I ain't never booked him. I never had to. He just he feel like I'm mean because my children are disciplined. My house is more organized. It's a time to do things. It's a specific way things are done.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just terrified that I'm gonna yell at him or do something. And like I said, I never yelled at him, but it's like discipline is different in my house than it is when he goes home, and so he doesn't know how to react to it.
So basically, it's more structure at your house than where he's at now.
Right,
So
right.
when you're dating someone, because like I said, I've never dated a woman who has kids. I just knew that's something that I didn't want. What are the things that you would look for in a man, um, when if he has kids? So like, what if how would you want to date? How would you pick a man who already has kids? What would you look for?
Um, he got to be present,
Mm-hmm.
and his kids that's like the number one thing. But some accountability, responsibility. A lot of guys like everything that go wrong with their kid is their mama fault. Oh, their mama did this, mama did. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where accountability comes in, to where we could possibly have made an error and we could have done this.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, anything else, it's a learning experience. I had to, me as a woman and as a mother of 6 children, I had to have the difficult conversation with my husband. I was like, look, you're not that great of a dad.
You told him that.
He had, I had
So
to tell my husband that because I love him.
hold on. What makes hold on before you go? I'm gonna stop right there. What makes a great dad?
All the things I just said, the present, and a lot of these men have just been told for so long that as long as you provide, oh, you a good dad. You do this for the kids. Oh, you do this. Oh, you take him. Oh, you do the shoes. Oh, you buy the clothes. You're a good dad. And I had to make him understand that there's a very small portion of being a father.
Mm-hmm.
You take so much more. Like I said, with me having the girls, I'm team mom. I'm there. I'm present. But even in school, I'm their school mom. Like they've never had a teacher that didn't know me, know my number. Like I'm gonna call you mom. I know your mom. I'm like when I walk in the principal's office, they know who I'm there for.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, especially this day and age, being a parent, it's like you got to do so much more.
Right. So what was the issue or the incident that made you tell him that he wasn't a good dad? Because it seems like it was something that happened for you to tell him that.
You know what? It wasn't one particular one. It was just, like overall
Mm-hmm. So
the
basically,
the actual.
it was a culmination of a bunch of shit, basically.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
okay.
like I said, we have conditioned our men to believe that as long as you got the money and you provide, then you really don't need to do anything else. That makes sure you're a awesome father. If
Who
you do
conditioned men
that,
that? Who conditioned men like that?
I feel like society, because we stop at a man being a provider and protector and forget all the other things that he's supposed to be.
I beg to differ. with that one. And
Go ahead.
the reason that I say that is I think that's base that we say that, but that's what society has boiled men down to in general,
Right,
and not necessarily when it comes to kids, but just people just view men as wallets, and just basically you need to lay your life down for them. But it's so much more
right,
that goes into that. But I'm not saying that's what a lot of men think. And the reason I say that, because when I'm in these Facebook groups with these men, they talking about the issues that they're having and being a present father, and how they feel like they get shitted on as being a present father, or what people think fatherhood
yeah,
is totally different than the wallet aspect of it, or a burglar come in the house, I got to beat a nigga ass to shoot somebody type shit. Like, you got to understand,
right,
women don't understand that I have to be an all-encompassing man, right? I have to be able to hold a baby at 5 o'clock and be able to kill a nigga 2 minutes later. Like, to have that
right.
type, that and that's real shit. To have that type of
Yeah,
shit to go through as a man, nobody will ever understand, especially when you try to explain it to women. Because, like, I could literally be walking in the mall with my baby in the arm, and a nigga get wrong, and now I gotta flip a switch and be a whole nother nigga in front of my family just to protect my kids. You get what I'm saying?
I
And
completely understand.
and
Yep.
so when men, and this is why I tell men this, a lot of men don't want to, listen, but, like, and this is another topic for something, but I'm big on discernment. That's my spiritual gift. And I ain't talking about this base level shit that niggas be talking about when it comes to discernment. Like, but when I tell men, I say,
Right,
bro, you can't really talk to a woman about your male issues, because that emotionalism, it will confuse you. And we have a lot of those men being raised by single mothers, and when it comes to male issues, it gets muddy, because you've been raised by a woman, and you're going to handle those situations
yep.
that men deal with like a woman, which will have you fucked up.
Like a woman, I agree.
And
I agree.
so
I completely agree with
a lot of people don't understand that aspect, because we still have women today. You see on social media, they'll be a post every 3 days or 4 days. A woman can raise a man to be a boy to be a man. We see this post constantly on social media, right? And then you'll have men telling women, no, it can't. Hey, my mama fucked me up, and then a woman to say, oh, that's your
you.
anecdotal
Right,
your anecdotal experience. But then we have a group of men coming under this one post and saying, my mama did this, my mama did this, my mama did this. Hey, I don't know how to bond with men. I don't know how to talk in groups with men.
yeah,
I'm really emotional. Hey, when I used to get bullied at school because I used to cry when niggas used to say shit, and I didn't even know why I used to cry and why people used to pick on me, because you was the weak link. Nobody told you how to maneuver in those situations. Nobody,
right.
and those are real conversations that we have to have with young boys. And
I completely agree with that. And it starts with like me as a black woman and as a mother of like now I have a son, but even with my stepson, I try to make sure that I'm not being that stereotypical uh boy don't cry. You know what I'm saying? Like boys
mhm,
ain't supposed to cry and you know the stereotypical stuff that they do to boys. But the other side of it is you got a lot of these young women, single mothers, young single mothers, and they wanna, oh my king and all this. My son ain't my king. My husband my king.
right.
I would never call my kid my king. Like you, they a lot of them stop being parents and they try to even dress the kids like the type of nigga they want instead of actually being a parent and raising a young man.
Think about how sick that is.
I know how sick it is. I see it like every day, and I'm like, ugh. But like I said, for many years I had only 5 daughters, so
Uh-huh.
I'm like, you know, these folks crazy. I ain't had no son, you know. But now that I have a son and I have my stepson, I love them. But my king is nah,
Yeah.
nah.
So that's the thing. And so, like, when have you been in groups of women who are saying they actually are looking for a stepfather for their kids, for that, let's say they had a son?
Definitely.
Because I hear a lot of women try to act like they're not dating for a stepfather as well. But in reality, if you're going to have a male stand in the house with your children, you're definitely going to have a male or a father figure for your children to look up to. And it's weird
That's
to
correct.
that people are saying that, no, I'm not looking, he doesn't have to take care of my kid. But as men, if you're paying rent, you're taking care of that kid at the end of the day. That kid stay there. If you buying food and groceries, you're taking care of that kid. Like that's how men look at it. And you got to take on that responsibility as a man. And that's one thing I could not see myself doing because personally don't like people that much, right? So for me to really
Fine.
like a person enough to want to take care of the kid, and I got to deal with the father, potentially the
Mm-hmm.
grandparents, outside influences, me being afraid to discipline the kid. What if this is a personal family issue that happened in my family. My uncle was dating a woman, and the girl didn't like him, and she said that he touched her. Come to find out, wasn't true, but it's
Now
part of
that come back to raising your kids right, because one thing with me having all these little women in my house, I have instilled that in them
yeah.
that sexuality is powerful and it's never to be weaponized.
Hmm.
And like I said, my youngest is she's 8, and I've had that conversation with her. If somebody has ever done something to you, if somebody the first thing you do is tell your mama. However, don't you ever tell that type of lie on somebody. You
Right.
will be surprised at how many women raising young girls have never had that conversation with them. Like it just never came up. And like I said, I was a Girl Scout troop leader for 7 years. So many girls came through my troop and they had never had just the basic conversations that you have with girls. And they'll be like, "Oh, my mama never told me that," or "Nobody never told me that." And it's like, wow,
Yeah, and so
it's really parents out here lacking.
yeah, but and I gotta find this lady number, but um I met a woman and she does she goes around talking to kids. Well, not in school, but they do like community work, basically talking to kids about sex. And she was telling me the
Mm-hmm.
rise of STDs among the kids is really, really wild right now. And the thing is, she was saying that parents are afraid to talk to their children about sex for one, and parents are afraid to let anybody else talk to their children about sex. And it came up because she was saying that a young lady that she knew had got pregnant and still did not understand how she got pregnant. That was wild to me. She was talking to the young lady, and the young lady still was like, "I can't believe it. I don't know how this happened." And she was like, "You had sex. You had to have sex to get pregnant." And she was like, "Yeah, but I
Right?
still don't understand." But it's crazy that we deal with, and that's why I tell people this: we don't need to have an age of consent, right? An age of consent is just saying, "Hey, you 18, you could do whatever you want to do." I think it's dumb. We should have tests for people, no matter the age, and see where they are mentally on these tests. And if you are of age of consent, I think you should get a card, and you can scan the card on your phone, like everybody, like you could do on your phone. You go to a restaurant and see if it's a valid card. Oh,
Right.
you
That's
consent to this. And the reason I say this is because we got people that are 30 years old who don't need to be having sex, right?
that's
So
very true. But
so go ahead.
I have come across a young lady. She was 24 years old and had no idea that sex was what caused her pregnancy. Or and
24?
the way, yeah,
Oh man.
and the way she understood it is she was like, "Well, I've been doing it for this long, and I didn't never. What was different this time?"
Oh, I
Like
heard
she
that
did not
before
grasp
too.
the concept. She didn't grasp the concept that the way your body ovulates. Like she didn't get none of it. She just was like, "Dang, how I get pregnant? I didn't." I guess she thought you had to take like a pregnancy pill or something before. But she was grown, like, 24, 25. That's grown,
Yeah.
grown. Or you would think, especially you starting your cycle at in your teen years in middle school, and you don't went all this time, and you ain't know what. But it's people out there like that for real.
And that shit
But
is scary. And that's why even and when you think about that, think about you meeting a 24-year-old woman who doesn't understand the concept of how to get pregnant, and she's raising a child, and she has to
yeah,
go and date, and you have to date this woman that didn't know how she got pregnant and raising a child now, and you mean to tell me I gotta take care of this motherfucker or I gotta be around him because I date her? Like, that's wild. Also, the flip side of this is if you meet someone and you see that their kids are not up to par of what you like discipline wise or smart wise or anything like that, you should just not date them if you know you're going to have to be around it. Because I always think of this: I could date a woman, and she might not even have a kid. Let's say I date a woman and the daddy stay with her, with the kids stay with the daddy for some odd reason, whatever, and the daddy die. Now the kid got to come stay with me. And I know, let's say the daddy wasn't the best. He was always at work, so the kid got to do whatever. And now this person think they can come in my house and run it a certain type of way. I'm gonna feel a ways about
right.
that. And now, see, you got to think about a lot of stuff when it comes to dating people with kids. And I always had, well, my mama used to always instill in us. She's like, don't date a woman with kids, because if that nigga didn't want to take care of them kids, why do you? She used to always say that. And I was like, okay, never understood it. But most of the time when I did, like, I've been around chicks and I, smashed chicks that had kids. And then the more and more I was around these women and seeing these women, how the women would react, most of the time it really wasn't the
Mhm.
fathers, it was how the women acted towards the fathers that kind of ran them off. I had a guy I used to work with. He was married to the chick, they got divorced, but his ex-wife used to say, hey, they had visitation, and she would call him during the week and be like, yeah, you can come get the kids early. So he probably supposed to get them Friday and bring them back Sunday. She'll say, call him on Thursday and be like, yeah, you can come get the kids. And when he get there, she'll try to act like he kidnapping the kids and call the police on him, like, oh, you trying to kidnap the kids, your days on Friday, and do little shit like that. So I started seeing at a early age shit I didn't want to deal with when it come to women and their children. And I understand, I really take being a parent serious, and I take children serious. You know what I'm saying? Because like I
Right.
said, when you are a parent, you understand, because being a parent is difficult. It's not an easy job at all. It's not a walk in the park. It's not roses. It's not, and that's why I ask you. You had 6 kids. After you have the first two, and you see what went into it, you still wanted to have 4 more, which is wild to me.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Even
Well,
after
because I actually wanted them.
correct, and I understand that, and that's why when we talk about like a Roe v. Wade overturn, I understand why people, you feel what I'm saying. Like, I'm not, it don't matter to me one way or another, but I understand why if you could really just get rid of a kid, you might want to get rid of it, because everybody knows we got the social media at our palms. You can see everything that people are going through and dealing with when it comes to with kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it makes you understand why people were like, okay, yeah, I can abort. If I can abort this pregnancy, I ain't got to deal with this, because having a kid ain't no 18-year ordeal. They get grown, they gone. That's a lifetime thing. Having a kid is a lifetime
Oh
thing.
yeah.
So that whole notion, and that's what I hate about the women that raise their kids too. For the 18, oh, you 18, I did my job. You need to get out on your own because mama got to live her life again too. Like, those are kids are gonna be set up for failure too, because you still don't know shit when you're
Man, that's
18.
a whole. Well, not even that. Most of the people's parents who do that, who sit around and wait for their 18th birthday, they haven't equipped them to survive after
Right,
18.
right.
And
Hell,
so
you
I
gotta
done
understand.
met,
You gotta understand.
many of
Old
them.
people, old people, there's old fools out there. They don't be knowing what the fuck going on.
Yeah, true. But I've met, the typical things we deal with
young teenagers. And like I said, with me actually working up close and personal with young girls or volunteering, I done seen all kind of crazy stuff. And it's like, girl, you about to be 18. Lord bless you. Because, because I knew some of their parents was like, yeah, when she 18, she out of here. And I'm like, ma'am, where's she going? Because she ain't going to survive out there. You haven't given her the tools.
Correct.
But back to the kid thing, raising other people's kids. I'ma say this. I only have one kid with my husband. And my husband and one of my kids don't get along. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot run my household.
Yeah.
And I had to sit my child down and tell her, you don't have to like him. You don't have to get along with him. You never do. The only thing I require you to do is respect him. That's it. If you go around dating for your kids, you're gonna be miserable because you might actually get a man who's perfect fit for your kids and love your kids, but you might not even like that man.
But you don't think
I've been there.
you don't think
I,
it's wiser, maybe even more safer to wait till your children are maybe out of the house to date again? With everything that goes on with, trying to figure out maneuver through the dating pool, people who have, drug problems, you know, molestation, or, just bad people.
I
You don't think it might be safer to just wait till your kids out the house?
safer, yes. Now, if I felt like my husband would harm my kids, either any of them, I wouldn't be married to him.
Yeah, but no, let's
And,
take
and
you
you know,
let's
I
let's
had
take you out of it. We just talking about in a general sense.
okay.
Take you out of it, your husband, what you got going in your life. Just in a general sense, do you think it would be safer for people to just, if you got kids, to maybe wait until your kids are out of the house? Because you know time go by pretty fast. My son 3, and it feel like yesterday he was on, baby. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not.
Right, but then if you do that, you're choosing between having the structure of a two household family or you being a single parent. And nothing is wrong with being a single parent. I was a single parent for quite a while, but I do feel like all children need a father figure. And with the thing that you said, dating for a stepfather, or it just depends on that person's personal preference.
Mhm. So if you're dating for a father figure and you like the man, and you say let's take it back to you. If your daughter does not like your husband, how how is that person able to give something to your daughter where he is received as a father figure?
She's a kid.
Kids have, okay, hold on, you can't,
And
but
so,
hold on. That's what we do a lot with our children. We say they're kids, but they have feelings. They smart enough to know
well,
what's
no,
going on.
they definitely have feelings and they're definitely intelligent. I use that term meaning I've had conversations with her like he
Hmm.
did something crazy to you. Why you don't like him? Like I've had these conversations without him and in front of him because I want her to know if it's an issue, Mama got you.
Hmm.
She looked me square in my face every time and say he ain't did and I just don't like him.
But you
So
know what it is,
with
right?
that being said, why you believe it is?
Well, it's just simple. Our parents are our gods. It don't matter if who steps in or who good to us. At the end of the day, you're going to long for the person that birthed you. So if a man, some of your kids might be like, oh, he cool, whatever, whoop the whoop, and then some. But those kids that are going to say, yeah, he's cool, I like him. If you ask them, if they would they rather have their father in the house, or they would rather choose their father than that man, and that's understandable because our parents are our gods. We gotta have a religious talk, but we know for certain that we come and we can prove who we come from with technology and DNA. And you're gonna always long for your parent at the end of the day.
Well, see, that's why I say this kid is a little weird. That's why because I'm saying like let me tell you, I am not in denial when it comes to my kids.
Yeah.
I know which ones are funny looking. I'm not in denial. This is an odd child because she don't even like her daddy. She don't. If you can tell her you want to go to your daddy, she's like, it don't matter. Like, so it ain't even that with her. She just this. It's a weird one for real.
So you just wrote her off as the weird kid.
Yeah, yeah. Like I say, if I
Okay.
can't help you because there's no problem to solve,
Right.
then you just want to be mad. I don't. So yes, nothing we can do to help you because you don't even have a problem.
Yeah.
So that's the weird one. But yeah, all the rest of them they straight.
So how did your husband feel about coming into a house with 5 women?
Um, I don't think. I don't think. I don't know. It wasn't awkward or weird at all. It just it came naturally. But I have a daughter who plays football on an all boy team at an all boy park. So
Okay.
he was
How
her
was your
football
daughter?
coach. She's been playing for 4 years, but she's 10 now.
Okay.
Yeah, so she played football with his son, and she's a defensive lineman. She ain't no kicker in there like that. She just in her own lane, her own type of kid. She ain't no tumble or nothing. She wore her waist trainer all through conditioning, but she just liked the game.
Yeah.
She liked the sport. So just seeing him every day, I think he kind of more so got introduced to my kids like one at a time. A couple of them would come to practice with me one time, then another time it would be like one other. So I think he like got introduced to my kids little bit by little, just at the park over a period of time
Yeah.
before we even like really started dating. So it was, kind of a soft sliding that way. But I don't think he ever just was like, damn, that's fine, girl. I don't think he ever looked at it that way.
You ain't never asked him.
Nope,
Why
never
not?
asked him. Because he might say something crazy.
Oh, you scared of his reaction.
Nah, I honestly just never thought about it because everything just went smoothly. It was never nothing
Oh,
crazy
you
going
also you did the woman thing. It's going fine, so I ain't gonna care what how the nigga feel. It's going fine for me.
on.
Fuck the nigga. That what you said. That was basically what you saying.
Nah. Like I said, I don't never. He never gave me any sign that he was like uncomfortable or bothered by it. But on the other side of that, people, outsiders, were definitely bothered. Like he got married with 5 kids.
I'm gonna be real with you. I will on the outside looking in. This is just me. I would be questioning that too. And this just from a male perspective, right? Now, all men are the same, just a male perspective. It's just a general sense. I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
generally. And then the other question I would have, especially you having 5 daughters, a man coming in there and want to
Mm-hmm.
be there. I know that a lot of men prey on women with children as because they're
Right,
predators, right? We know this. I'm not saying he
right,
is. I'm not saying your husband is. Not saying anything. I'm just saying from a general
right,
sense, a white man would come in to a situation with a woman who has so many kids is because some men are predators like that, right? And you can come in
right.
when a woman has that many kids, it's hard to watch all of the kids too, right? Because another thing.
Nah, crazy. You crazy. No, it ain't.
No, 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 no. It is hard to watch all of the kids in the sense of if we chilling, right? And me and you chilling and
Mhm.
you not me and you chilling, but let's say you gotta go to work. and you need me to drop the kid off. So I might be by this one kid by myself, or you might be by these other kids by yourself. So when you have that many kids, they got to go here, there, rip, run, and I got to be left alone with the kids because I'm going to be left alone because you might need me to take the kid to this basketball game, the football game, the cheerleading practice, this practice, while you take the other kid here or there because when you have so many kids, you have all of them gonna have their own obligations where they have to be at, right? So that's what I mean. That's
Yeah.
what I mean when I say it'll be hard to watch them because you're not going to be able to keep your eyes on that man and your child all the time by themselves, right? So that's the thing. That's what I mean when I say it's going to be hard to watch them. And so, excuse me, when you have that many kids, it's easier for me to pick apart and see who is the weak link as the man because now I'm by this kid by myself I can talk to, this kid by myself, and then you having so many kids, if one of the kids have an issue, it's just like you can't expect all of them to like me. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And so I'm
Well,
like,
see, I think in a normal situation, that might I would feel you, but because like I said, I was a single mother doing all this. I had the cheerleader and the football player, and I never missed a practice. And even with all five of them in school age, I've never missed a field trip. I go on every one of
yeah.
them. I don't even had to be at two in one day.
Mm.
But because my schedule was already set up to do that with my kids, I never needed him to go take this one somewhere, go take that one. So it was well into our relationship before he ever was even like alone with any of them.
Oh, okay.
But
So
so
you
I don't,
so you think
yeah,
you basically say had a like kind of like safeguards already too to protect them from that too?
definitely,
Oh,
definitely,
okay.
and not not ever saying that I feel like he was that type of man because I wouldn't be married to him, but people can be with people for years and not really know who they fucking with. So
That is true.
again, that's why I'm like constantly. I'm always telling my kids. They already know. I've even had the conversation with them. Ain't nobody got to do nothing to you sexual. Nobody has to touch you. If at any point you feel uncomfortable, I need to know about it.
Yeah.
If you don't like the way they're breathing, come talk to me because people we forget kids have intuition too. But because I'm home, I have my office in the back of my house now.
Hmm.
But I own a publishing company, so I'm always available to my kids. But because I'm home, when their attitude is changing, I'm aware, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? What you? But all that goes back to actually wanting kids for the right reason.
Yeah.
Like when I hear these mothers like, oh, I need a break, I'm frustrated, and I'm, not saying that parents can't get tired or need a break ever, but like I said, I wanted these kids, and now all my children aren't by the same dude, and their dads are trash.
Hmm.
Like when I say single parent, I'm single
So
parent.
how many
No
fathers
child
we talking? You
support, no
got six kids. How many daddies?
three,
Three daddies. Okay.
three.
Okay.
Yep.
So how
And
go ahead, go ahead.
they don't really contribute. In our situation, I feel like it's different from anybody I've ever known situation. They don't contribute financially because they feel like I don't need them financially or whatever the kids need, I can provide for them. So they're like, oh, you just need greedy if you want to take my
Nah, that's fucked up.
money.
Nah,
That's
that's fucked up.
exactly.
Nah, I agree. That's fucked up. I got a question. Do you think it will ever be a time since you are married to your youngest child's father and they all stay in the same house? You think there will ever be any jealousy with the other kids towards him?
Nah, I don't because the age gap is so large there.
You don't think so?
Nah.
Ah, okay, so
Mm-mm.
story time.
Okay.
I was dating a chick, right? And while I was dating this chick, she had issues, whatever. But long story short, she was told me that she was mad at her daddy, right? Never knew why. And then one day she was like, "Yeah, I want you to meet my daddy." And whoop de whoop, I'm trying to, work. it out with my father, whatever. So the daddy, we was dating for a little bit, probably like a year and a half. She wanted to meet her dad. Dad wanted to meet me, and so about we go to the movies. The dad invites us to the movies, so we go to the movies, and then he has his wife there and two younger kids. Now I'm 27 dating this girl, 26, 27 dating this chick, and the kids probably are like 4 and 7, somewhere around there. They might not even been that old, but they were, walking town. So it might have been like 5 and 7. And after
Mhm.
we left, she said the reason that I didn't like my dad is because I was jealous because my dad decided to marry their mother, but he didn't marry mine, and they got to actually grow up with my daddy, and I never got a chance to do that.
Yeah, I feel like maybe his older kids will have that resentment, but not
Mm. Why you think
like
your
I
kid?
kind of already see it.
Why you think your kids be different than his kids?
Um, because my kids are in the house with me, and they got like adult mama. So I
But
mean,
they
not
they
even.
still they still
I
missing their
mean, not
dad
even
though.
being funny.
They
No, I
still
don't think
missing
they are.
they still miss their dad.
I
I'm not saying
I
they.
don't think
I'm
they
not
care
saying.
that much.
You say that every man every. I hate when people say that kids don't care about their damn parents or not being there. Everybody want their parents. When you watch Disney and all you go places and you hear about my dad did this and my mom and dad, you care about that. That's gonna rub you the wrong way and you're gonna feel a ways and shit. Like even when I was growing up, kids used to take, and I didn't even understand this was a slick jab until I got older. But kids used to tell me, "Well, said you wouldn't understand because your parents are still together," and I didn't even know what the fuck that even meant as a kid. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm thinking that I didn't know what to think honestly, and so when getting older, it was like when I started just sitting back and looking, it's rare that a lot of people was coming up in a two-parent home.
Right.
I didn't understand. I didn't even understand it
That,
because I was in my own little bubble. Everything was good. None of my friends that I hung out with that I can think of, parents were still together. None of them. I had cousins, maybe like I could think of like 3 or 4 cousins, but even just like the cousins that I can think of, they weren't raised. So it was a rare thing for parents to still be, married or grew up in two-parent home or whatever like that. And so,
see, and but I grew up in a two-parent home with my
mhm.
stepdad. Now, my kids, I have my stepdad and my biological father, who are both present in my life now. I talk to both of them like every other day. My kids still don't even know which one is my biological father and which one is my stepdad
Mm.
because it really doesn't matter. Like I call them both dad. And that's why I say that they might be all right and they might not care because I didn't care about, my dad not being in the house with me. I had a dope ass stepdad and I didn't miss anything.
Hold on,
I
but
think with children,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I was
I
finna
think
ask
with
you. I was
children,
finna. Oh, we must got a delay. But I was finna ask you. But your father was involved in your life growing up, right? Your biological.
growing up, not really. Nope.
So, but y'all talk now. Did
We're,
y'all mend that relationship?
yeah, we talk. Yeah, we talk now.
Okay, okay.
We mended the relationship. We talk now.
Well, that's good.
But back then he wasn't really right. Back then he wasn't really present, and I didn't really care. What I know from experience that with kids, it's more so what they're missing.
Yeah,
And like I've even had to have conversations with my stepson about, this is your house too. You can come over anytime you want. Like you don't have to come on the weekend. If you want to come on a Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll take him to school in the morning with the rest of the girls. But he goes to a different school. But I don't want him to feel like he's restricted to weekends with his dad.
yeah,
Or, and most kids who are, dealing with a separation of their parents, it's like, especially because my house is already so different from home and, it's all the rules and much stricter. I don't want him to feel like, he's an outsider on the street when he's here. So he can come and go as he please. Like I don't make him just come on the weekend.
You know
But
what's crazy about being in a house that has stricter rules? You I don't know, it's just me, but it feels like when you're in the house and the parents have like stern and strict rules that you follow, it seems like the house feels a little bit different. And then when I say different, it feels like the house is built on love. Like people actually care in this motherfucker. Like if I go to I can
right,
think of a friend's house and we used to, if I go spend out with them, we could be out late as we want to, we could do what the fuck we wanted to. Like it didn't feel like nobody gave a fuck about us. Like we could just do what we wanted to do. But when you come to somebody's house who has strict rules and are trying to, instill good values in the kid, you actually feel like, oh, these people here care. Like the house feels different, the energy feels different, the way the parents talk to, us is different. The way they seem like it's
mhm,
stricter, but it seems like they love us, or even, give us a lot more grace and talk to us and try to tell us stuff that we might need for life. But when I go to this person's house, they ain't telling us shit. It's like, hey, here's the food, here's the remote, here's some money. Y'all be, y'all don't get in no trouble here. You do what you want.
yeah. It's definitely a different. But anytime you in a blended family, it's hard. And I know personally, like I said, my husband has two grown kids. His oldest daughter told me, she was like, I I felt like it was something else behind her words,
Mm-hmm.
but what she said was she didn't get to grow up in the house with her dad, and she was watching her dad wrestling with one of my daughters, and she was like, she didn't get to grow up in the house with her dad, and she was like, she thinks that's really cool that they get along. But from her tone and her look, I feel like it was some resentment there. Like, even with her being an adult, a young adult, but still an adult, I really feel like she was looking to just side eye my kids like they legit got my childhood.
But that's the thing that you run into, and that's always gonna be a problem, is because kids are gonna have resentment because it's like, damn, my dad is doing something for this person that they never did for me.
Right.
You're gonna feel a ways about that.
Yeah.
Any kid
Right.
will
That
feel.
and
Go ahead.
that's why I say I don't feel like my kids will have as much of that because they ain't missing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So she felt like she missed out on her dad being in the house. Was I've seen so many times with kids, it's 9 times out of 10 like what they're missing,
Yeah.
like what's not there. So I don't know. And I even had a friend. She had this whole upset because it was kind of like the situation that we were speaking on with the going on the vacation.
Mm-hmm.
But him and his girlfriend were going on vacation, and the kids that lived in his house were going.
Mm-hmm.
And he chose not to take his other kids by her. So whatever the reason was, whether it was financially or she didn't want to deal with his kids. I don't know. Whatever the reason was, he wasn't taking those kids, and she felt like it was favoritism and treat all the kids the same. But that situation would not have bothered my kids. Like for instance, it's specifically my oldest daughter. If I'm like, oh, if she found out that her dad going to the beach without her, she wouldn't care because she like I go to the beach all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like so she wouldn't feel like she was missing anything. So I don't think I really honestly think they'll be fine. I don't think they care. And
Well,
but you again speak to a parent that talks to them often. Like we have these conversations often, and I say all the time that some kids are grown. They're just growing up and getting older, and other kids are being raised. Like it's a whole learning situation going on in my house. So me and my kids talk about morality and being a good person, like on a regular basis, and people skills. Like just with it being a lot of them,
yeah.
a lot of their conflict. I'll sit back and like kind of watch them and how they hash it out. Even when they fight, I don't break up fights. And my husband be like, break them up. I'm like, nah, because I ain't always gonna be there. They
Yeah.
need to, you know. and you know, everybody's parenting is different, but for mine, I want to make sure they're equipped for whatever. So, you know, they're gonna have to hash out situations themselves. What are you gonna do when nobody's there to break up your fight?
Right.
So I kind of, you know, let them work out their personal issues, their people skills. But I'm here if they need me to navigate.
Yeah. So let's flip the question real quick. How is your husband doing since he falling through
What you
rules?
mean?
Since he falling through rules and electrocuting himself and shit. How's he doing?
He's doing good.
Cause you try to blame me,
He's
talking about
doing good.
I'm bad luck. Hell, we could have had a whole interview over the phone just like this.
Right? He's doing good. He's doing much better. He gotta go get his stitches out his arm in a couple more days.
He got stitches.
But yeah, he
Oh, he didn't
had
get electrocuted.
another
He
accident.
cut his arm.
Yeah, but so yeah,
Oh damn.
he can let you see that all the time.
Oh, he get electrocuted all the
That's
time.
how you know. Yeah, but yeah, he had cut his arm open, and so he got stitches for that. So yeah, he doing good. He alright.
Oh, okay, that's good. Cause I know you said earlier he had fell through the he
Yeah,
fell
through
through
the
the
roof.
roof, which is crazy. Hold on, real quick. While we on
Yeah.
here, I'm finna send you something in Messenger. I'm finna see because I ain't know I'm working this new program since you on the phone. I I sent you some in Messenger. Click it and see if I can bring you on here. It's see if you come on live real quick.
What is it?
You see it?
Yeah, I see it. But what is it?
It's just to see if you can like you could be on live, like I can see you on camera. Unless you if you want to be on camera right now. I just want to see if it worked.
Like what I do? Just click it.
I guess just click it.
It ain't going, but probably because my service ain't good.
Yeah, just click it and see do it work. We're waiting on Mercedes to click this link. See if it's gonna work or not. Uh, I guess she didn't want to click on the link. Hold on, I'm trying this out, y'all. Yeah, man, she could click the link. Hold on. Hmm. Well, guys, I was just playing. Hold on. I was playing around with that. I just want to see how to invite people to go live on here. This is a new normal podcast where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we out.